Braves country? It's Coach Ken Anderson, company for Hardcore Braves, and I got my main man Ryan on here. How you doing, Ryan?
Buddy, you had to drag me onto this podcast tonight. Let's go ahead and keep it a buck 10 right there. I don't want to do this crap tonight, but here we are, Chad. I uh I got to watch the offense completely do the exact opposite of what I told them to do, so that was fun.
I'm gonna tell you, I put it out on Twitter. We were 4-14 in June. I thought we had a lot of reasons to be 4-14. We had a lot of guys get hurt around the same time. Matt went in his only real slump of the year. It was the worst time for him to do it, and we went 4-14. Nothing was as bad as these last three games, Ryan. This is as bad as it can get. The Twins, at best, we're going to give them some credit. At best, are a mediocre baseball team, and I doubt they're still going to get over 500. And they just beat us every form you could beat us. They beat us, and even though our starting pitchers pitched well, even their starters pitched better than our starting pitchers. So they beat us all the way through every game, all 9 innings. What do you think, Ryan?
Uh, I don't hate the Twins. I want everybody to understand this, okay? I don't hate Twins. I don't hate the Twin fans. You guys beat us, but you didn't beat us. We beat ourselves, Ken. Our offense went up there and looked like a high school JV baseball team swinging the frickin' bats this week, man. They like every single one of these starting pitchers. I'm not even kidding you. They went four. It would be like in the fourth or fifth inning, they'd be at 45, 50 something pitches. We didn't work counts. We swung at shit that we shouldn't have swung at. Like my goals, my literally for every single pitcher, I'm like, they're gonna attack you with a fastball up. Righties are going to try to get you out with a slider away. They're going to try to get you to chase. They're going to try to throw the curveball down below the zone to get you to chase. And they're going to back you up with sinkers inside. That's what they did. Lefties, they're going to attack you with the fastball up. They're going to go inside with a slider, cutter, whichever one they had. And then you're going to get the changeup and curveball down and away below the zone. And your job was to get the ball up in the zone, except on Taj Bradley because he throws 99. And I said, we're going to give up you're going to have to expand on the changeup down to get to the fastballs low. Didn't even do that today. Didn't even swing at I watched Drake Baldwin just take 96 down the middle 2 or 3 times. I was like, all right, okay, just take it right down the dick. I don't know. So I can't even give the Twins too much credit. I would love to give the Twins credit. I would love for this to have been a great play series and the Twins just beat our ass. I can't even say that, buddy. We beat our own ass this 3 games. Like our offense gave nobody a chance. Our pitchers their assholes were so tight. I'm sorry for cursing so much, by the way, chat. Their buttholes were so tight going out there on the mound because they were scared to give up 1 run because they knew they didn't have a shot to win the game at that point. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, though, and the one thing I will tell the Twins that I did like is their top four hitters come to play. Kershaw really had a good series. Jeffers was a beast all series. Byron had a good series, and Bell, who we warned you about, Bell hits the Braves. He's hot. He had that bomb he hit last night. He crushed it in the upper deck. And their bullpen, who had been struggling, pitched very well. Gomez is now 22 for 22 in closing. I don't know how he does it. He looks very hittable. It's the first time I really got to watch him. He doesn't throw enough strikes if you can be patient, which we're not a very patient team. It was funny when we were patient, a couple hitters at the bottom of the lineup. Only thing that Mike Yastrzemski did well is again, in late in the game, he would be patient and draw a walk. But we didn't do well. We're just going to kind of go through the games. We're just going to kind of talk about the team. There's not a lot to recap. Game one, it's going to be the same thing all over again. But Martin Perez had his first hiccup of the year. I mean, really, you could tell he just didn't have his stuff. He gets 6 batters. He gives up 4 runs, and he just shuts it down. Just lock down the rest of the game. Bullpen comes in. They don't give up another run. And we do muster. Ronnie has 4 at bats, 3 god awful at bats, and then it's one that he's out in front still because he's trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. He does get a rope single for 2 RBI. We get beat 4-2. I never felt like we were in the game. I mean, they made Bailey over look like he was. You know what he really reminded me of was Jake Arrieta. That's kind of how he threw, but a lot slower. He's throwing 85-mile-an-hour fastballs. You know, it's just one of those games. I never felt like we were going to win because our at bats were absolutely pathetic. Drake did swing the bat good in that game. We'll try to give you who swung the bat good when they did. Drake swung the bat good. He had good swings in that game. Austin adjusted well in that game, but overall, 4-2 loss. I never felt we were going to win the game, Ryan.
Nope, you hit the nail on the head, man. Bailey Ober shoved it up our rear ends. How he did it is beyond me because it's like that's your high end men's league starting pitcher right there, Ken. Like you see that on every Sunday league now. So I don't really understand what these guys couldn't hit. I don't get it. Like nothing was great. Breaking ball wasn't good. Changeup had decent depth, but I mean you could see it kind of floating up there to the zone, and there wasn't much difference speed wise between his fastball and changeup, so it shouldn't have been that hard to hit. And if you had the right approach, which was the right center field for right-handed hitters, you'd been able to hit the changeup just fine. But guess what? Everybody was worried about 85 getting blown down their throat apparently, and they couldn't adjust to it. So I don't know. It was a really pathetic approach. It was pathetic offensive performance. You're going to hear that word a lot tonight. I coached some middle school kids that probably would have had a better approach against this guy than the Atlanta Braves did, and I'm not even exaggerating on that. It's just absolutely pathetic. I hope the guys went in that locker room and were kind of ashamed to look at themselves a little bit that night because that's as baseball players that is because that was absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse for that. Like it looked like it was a Sunday day game on the last day of the season, and everybody was just trying to get the heck out of there. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was commenting. It looked like they were a getaway game, and I didn't understand it. I knew he was in trouble in the first inning when Drake got a good base hit, and then Ronnie struck out and Matt struck out, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not going to be good." Um, and look, we can't keep putting all this pressure on Matt that Matt can't have an off series. It seems like every time Matt has an off series, we're screwed, and that's a little difficult. Game two, we'll get to game two. Rinse and repeat in the game. In this case, Tyler, he threw one bad splitter the whole game, and I'll give it to Bell. Josh Bell did not miss it. He hit it in the upper deck. It's the only really bad pitch he made the whole game. One thing we did learn, we're going to try to give you some good things to take away from. Tyler Mahle can pitch. He can pitch, and he's done everything we wanted him to. Drake hits an opposite field home run. Another good at bat by Drake. Michael had some good swings in this game, but we get late in the game. Dylan gives up, and then Didier comes in, and Didier has his bad outing, which this bullpen is tired. I mean, we can't just keep throwing them out, and we'll get to all that. We're going to have a lot of thoughts on how this team's going. We're just trying to recap the games right now. We get beat 4-1. Again, I didn't feel like we had a shot. I just felt like the hitters were not swinging the bat, and I know Michael and Drake had a couple of good some bats in that game, but it just was not very good. And but the one good thing coming out of this was Tyler Mahle did pitch well again, Ryan.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, legit, he hung the one splitter. The one splitter, and Josh Bell made him pay. I mean, look, Ken, a two-run homer shouldn't beat you. Not against the Twins, not that team. Come on, like I said, the pitchers had to walk such a tightrope, man, and that you knew they could feel it. Like you could feel that they felt that out there on the mound. They're like, oh shit, there's somebody on base. I really can't let them score. Like that, like they were pitching on a tightrope, and it's not fair to them. Like you're all like offensively, come on, man. Like y'all really couldn't put better at bats together, like at all. Like seriously, like starting pitchers at 55 pitches through 6 innings, and you're saying, yeah, we're giving it all we got, guys. They were just really on top of their game. No, they weren't. They weren't on top of their game. There are a lot of hittable pitches that you just took that were dick high right down the middle. And then, oh, yeah, we're swinging at the sliders down and away 16 feet outside, Ronald and Riley. Like, what are we doing? We're going to take the fastballs down the middle, but then we're going to swing at the sweeper that's not even close. Read the freaking ball one time and quit trying to freaking guess. Have an approach. Stop being a guess hitter. You've proven time and time again you're dog shit at guessing. Like, I'm not even trying to be a jerk. It's just CJ Nikowski can set it perfectly in game one as professional as he could say it. And this was against Bailey Oberchat. He said, I don't, he's like, the guy, you can tell some of these guys are just sitting on a certain pitch and they're just hacking away. And he goes on to say, you really shouldn't have to do that against a guy who's not overpowering, who's going to be primarily off speed. If you have the right approach to go right center field, if you do that on the 85, you'll be able to catch the 81 out in front and hit it in the left center field gap. He's like, and he pretty much went on to say, I don't know why they're doing that. He didn't say that per se, but he definitely insinuated it, and BG backed him up on that thought, and they're 100% right. They did it the whole series. It was horrible. Like, it wasn't just one pitcher. There's, like, I don't know why they get in these guessing modes and they just go up there hacking at crap. I don't know what it is, but it's got to change. I don't know. I don't think, as Tim Hires has won 2 or 3 World Series and has been on some pretty good hitting teams that he's coached. So I don't think he's preaching going out there guessing every single pitch. And I've said it before, if you're going to guess a pitch, you sit on that pitch until you get it inside the strike zone that you can do damage on. You don't chase the stuff that you can't do damage on. There's a way to sit, and then there's a way not to sit on pitches. And we're doing the way not to sit on pitches right now, Ken.
Yeah, we don't. We're just not swinging at right pitches. And Walt talks about after game 2. He mentioned it. He said he doesn't use the words that me and Ryan use, but he's saying we're not having good at bats. So we'll put the words to Walt. He's not going to throw them under the bus. They have terrible approaches right now. They have terrible swings. They're guessing up there. They're guessing wrong. And so we'll do it for Walt. CJ also pointed out, and Brandon pointed out, they were hitting absolute bombs in batting practice. Sometimes that can be the worst thing, even from high school kids up through pros. The ball can carry in that stadium. You watch how the Twins scored in this series. A lot of small ball, slapped the ball around the ballpark. Today they got AJ in trouble with a bunt, base hit to loaded the bases. That's how they got the 1 run. Speaking of game 3, rinse and repeat. AJ goes out, gives us everything he's got. If Alex won't admit it and the Braves won't admit it, I'll yell it to the AJ Smith-Shawver's a better pitcher than Grant Holmes in the starting rotation. Way better. I don't know what we're waiting on. That said, he went out and he gave us a chance to win. The game kind of come unglued a little bit. I think he got a little tired a little bit. And I think, like you said, they start pressing a little bit, trying to be perfect. He started missing the strike zone. I think if we'd have been hitting, I think he'd have went after Byron Buxton when he loaded the bases. You know, he loads with Byron. He didn't want to give up the big hit. Ends up costing us. We did show life to get back in the game. Lane Thomas can hit left-handed pitcher about as good as anybody in baseball. Gets a big hit. Dawson, I love you. I love you, Dawson. He can't hit right-handed pitching. It's a strikeout waiting to happen. Stop trying to put him in the lineup. And all this about Ha-Seong Kim, he can't hit either. Yes, Jarvis can't hit either. We can pinpoint everybody we want to and say they're the problem. Let me tell you who the problem with the Braves hitting is right now. If you are a position player and you've not pitched this year, you are the problem. All 13 of you. That's my rant. We end up losing 6-4. They scored late on Dylan Lee. Dylan, of course, he's also taxed. But that's my rant. I think it's all 13. We can nitpick one or the other, and we can't. We got to let Matt Olson have a bad series every once in a while, and he didn't have a great series. And but I think it's all 13 of them. They got to get their head together. And they better get it quick because this weekend's going to be tough.
Yeah, I said it on the last podcast. I said, you guys got to get your head out of your asses and start hitting a little bit better. And, well, Ken, they just shoved it up their rectum a little bit higher. So hopefully we can get I don't know what we need. If we need a Dooley 4x4, and, get Walt and the boys to wrap the chain up in there, hook it on something, and just start pulling it out because it's just bad. The fact that you guys are going to Lane Thomas to hit against right-handed pitching. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Like, you know how ridiculous, like, Lane Thomas hitting against right-handed pitching is going to fix our problems. You know how ridiculous that sounds, Ken? Like, Like, are you hearing yourself? So you're just going to ignore the struggling Drake Baldwin. You're going to ignore the struggling Ronald Acuna Jr. You're going to ignore the struggling Austin Riley, the Mauricio Dubon, who has had a 600 OPS, the Ozzy Albies, who has had a sub 500 OPS for the last 2 months. You're going to ignore all that, and you think Lane Thomas is going to help fix this, and you think Ha-Seong Kim is going to be anything worth a crap more than Jim Jarvis at shortstop. No, no. If he was, let me tell you, they'd be playing. They're not. There's a reason why they're not playing against right-handed pitching. There's a reason why Kim's on the bench. And I will say this, and I reiterated this on Twitter. We should have DFA'd Kim and kept Mateo. Not saying Mateo would have been a good starting shortstop. I already said he wouldn't, and he wasn't our solution. But he at least provided good defense and speed. Speed is key in postseason play. So that's going to suck when October rolls around, Ken, when we don't have that rolling off our bench. But other than that, chat, this is your starting lineup. You don't have anybody out of the starting lineup right now that's not healthy. Everybody's there. Sean Murphy's back. Ronald's back. Riley's been here all year. Ozzy's here. Matt Olson's here. Baldy's here. We have everybody. Everybody's back. They're playing like dog crap. And Lane Thomas hitting against right-handed pitching definitely won't help that. And neither will Ha-Seong Kim. So I don't know what you guys are ranting on about that for, but it's just let it die. You don't look good. It's not something that's smart that you're pulling out of the sky. It's just not good baseball. And to think Ha-Seong Kim has any baseball left in him right now in Major League Baseball is ridiculous.
I'll say this to the guys who I really love, and I love chatting up with them. There's a reason why they're seeing Ha-Seong Kim swing in the cage and everything like that. If he was tattooing the baseball in the cage and he was doing stuff, he would be in the lineup. The one thing that you guys are getting right, and I do agree, and you sold me on it, I was against it, and I want to apologize for being wrong. Dom Smith's cooked. Dom Smith is cooked. So the one thing I think Brian and Dolphin, you both brought up, I think is true. It may be just time to let Murphy go down and just ride and catch. Because at least Murphy calls a good game. He knows how to ABS challenge. He knows how to stop runners and all of that. And let's let Drake DH for a while. I'm on board with that, Dolphin and Brian. I think you've maybe hit on something, and I apologize for not catching it earlier. But I'm watching swings, and Don Smith is I think we milked everything we could out of him, like we did Pablo Sandoval and some other players. I don't see him. I don't mean he won't run into a pitch. He's a professional hitter, and maybe he hits something, but he doesn't look. He's about the only one. But to Ryan's point, this is the team. We got to go with them. And the fact of the matter is they're not hitting the baseball. They've got to figure it out. And it don't look good for this weekend, Ryan. We'll get into the preview of it. One of the things that happened this game, Ryan, is when you talk about Mauricio check swing, and I don't know which one it was on Twitter. I did catch it. I don't read y'all stuff on Twitter. I'd stay away and just post stuff. But so I did catch it when I posted a 3-out recap that Dubon deserved to be strikeout. Whoever that was said that. You thought you've never stood in the box against a 90-mile-an-hour slider. It's not that easy just to hold up. So he did kind of try to hold up. I know whoever it was is not a big Dubon fan, and you shouldn't be lately. He's been horrible. He's 600 OPS. He deserves all the hate. But I just don't see a lot. But Walt going out there and getting fired up, I don't think there's a team meeting tomorrow, but I can see a team meeting coming soon with Walt. Don't you, Ryan?
Buddy, I would have had it after game one. I'd have had it after Ober carved us up. I would have said unspeakable things to those men in the clubhouse after that dude went out there and carved us up. Like, that's just for Walt to keep his cool in that situation. Hats off to him, because I turned the game off. I couldn't watch. After I saw him carving us up, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. So team meeting's coming at some point if it hadn't already happened. I'd have had it after game one in Minnesota. I was like, this shit ain't happening. This ain't flying. But, Walt's going to – I mean, he's professionals. These guys are professionals. They got to let it run a little bit because, you can't dog out professional athletes. You're just going to lose the locker room and clubhouse at that point. So, and I understand that. Walt knows that. Walt knows how to get in these guys' ass a little bit and get them motivated. So, it's coming. If they keep playing like this, there's no doubt there's going to be a closed-door locker room meeting that the beat writers will put out. Because anytime that happens, they seem to always put it out. They don't leak too many details, but they'll let you know, like, clubhouse doors were closed. We weren't allowed to be in there. They were talking, but it's coming. If they keep playing this way, I think Philly's 4.5 back now after they got on a little bit of a run. So it's just been that up and down all year. Braves get hot, Phillies get cold. Braves get cold, Phillies get hot. So hopefully they figured out the last 6 weeks of the season, buddy.
I hope so. So, you know, I understand the frustration with you guys and talking about the lineup. That's the reason I can't fight because I can't see nobody in the lineup I want in the lineup. But I will say this that one of y'all mentioned as well, and I forgot who it was. One of the guys, Core on Twitter. I do think that Walt pulled the plug a little bit too early with a taxed bullpen. I think Martin could have won a seventh inning. I think Molly should have finished his seventh inning, and I think he's got those veteran pitchers. And I know he's quick to pull, and we think that'll help us in the postseason. I think I'd like to see Walt let these starters, these professional veteran starters, fight their way through. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, now, Chad. These are two different situations. Okay, you had Molly and Perez. Perez was rolling the last, after he gave up 4 runs, he was kind of rolling through the rest of his start. Tyler, he gave up a 2-run bomb, but he looked great. And I think he was at what, like 70 pitches, 75
70,
pitches,
75.
75 pitches. Let him roll, man. Let him go. He looked good. His stuff was lively. There was no drop off at that point in time in the game. So I don't really know why. I get it. He's going for the game. You want to use your pin matchups, whatever. But when it's a situation where your offense isn't showing any life. You don't want to burn a bullpen that's already been burned up a ton. Like you gotta, I think those are the situations Walt's gonna have to learn when to back off a little bit and trust the starters. But he's already got it down pat. Like when he's going for the win, that's fine. But this situation when you're down, let the starters go out there and roll out. But it's not the same situation as it was when Grant Holmes was getting absolutely cooked against the New York Mets the other day. That you got to go get him because he's just not in it. But these guys were rolling really good. You got to know when to let these guys go out and eat up innings for you, especially when your offense has absolutely no life in them. So I think it's a learning curve a little bit for Walt, and I definitely some much deserved criticism on that, especially again, our bullpen's already taxed, and you just went out there and burned bullets for them when we didn't need to necessarily, unfortunately.
And AA, if you want to do something for all of Braves country, can you hire somebody to teach our players how to ABS challenge? Because we're the world's worst team in baseball at ABS challenge. So y'all all know it. We don't need to hark on that. All right, so we got to have an MVP and a play of the series before we go forward to this next 4 games. So who from the Twins was their play of the? Who from the Twins was their play of the series?
The Braves lineup sucking. That's their play of the series. And you want me to go ahead and give them the MVP?
Yeah, go ahead.
The entire Twins pitching staff because they made us look like little leaguers out there. So good job on the pitchers and good job on the Braves for sucking so bad that you were literally the MVP for the Twins. Good job, guys.
Oh my Lord! I'm going to give the play of the series to the Minnesota Twins bullpen. They had been struggling. They'd give up 3 straight leads to the Phillies, and they come in and shut the door on us. Our offense was terrible. So I don't know if I'm a Twins fan, if I'm excited that we did it, or laughing at the Braves offense being that bad. But I'll give it to the Twins bullpen for the play of the series. The MVP of the series to me was Jeffers. He raked the whole series. He had good swings. The double that extended the lead on the 2-1 game, I think, was huge. I think we could have maybe mounted something to tie that game. He had a good game in game 1. So I go Ryan Jeffers. I like the kid, and he probably should have been traded. Yankees probably should have gave whatever the Twins wanted to get him there. So we move on. We got a Thursday game in Chicago. You told me that it's Anthony Kay that's going to shove it up our rear end, and we got Grant Holmes. Hopefully, Grant will be a little irritated. We'll just attack that game first of all. That's tough. They're going to leave Milwaukee. They got to fly leave Minnesota. They got to fly to Chicago. It's going to be no crowd, no atmosphere, dead crowd. They're a wounded animal. Do you have any hope that the Braves can muster up a win Thursday? He's shaking his head. He's got no hope. My only hope would be that somehow on the plane flight, maybe they had a little discussion and somehow they met. The White Sox are going to walk through the game too. They just finished a series with the Cubs, so it's going to be no energy. It's going to be like a JV baseball game. If everybody's go to high school, there'll be a few claps and everything like that. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go to the Milwaukee series because we are not doing a one game recap on the White Sox game that we'll probably lose. I got no hope for Friday. Jacob Mizorowski's going Friday. Uh, they got a kid, Logan Henderson's going Saturday. I love the Henderson kid. He goes Saturday. Drohan is who they got in the trade with Harrison from Boston. He's been excellent. Uh, though we have Sale going and we have Molly going, and is Perez going Saturday? So we're skipping Elder. We said six man rotation, but we're not going to pitch Elder. Brian's going to look that up while I talk about this. But here's the interesting thing. Sale Mizorowski will be fun to watch just because it's a battle of the Cy Youngs, and I think Sale will bring a great game. I love Tyler Molly against Drohan. We're going to do our predictions on all four of the games. Brian, what do you got to say about the four games here? Especially going to Milwaukee.
Well, according to MLB.com, the only one that's legit right now is Sale. So the other two are to be determined right now.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe Elder pitches. We don't know.
Yeah. These four games, we're going 0-4. Going 0-4. We're going to hit a $1.25, and I'm going to ram my head through this brick wall that's outside because I just can't take it anymore, and we're going to be a half game up.
Who are the Phillies playing this weekend? Do we know? I guess he has no pick to click if it's 125.
They play the Cardinals, so and they got their big guns going out there, so that's fun.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna. If we go 2-2 in this series, it'll be the best 2-5 road trip I've ever seen in my life. I'll be so excited to go 2-5 road trip, guys. We told you this was going to be a tough road trip and start. I think we're going to somehow win a game. Maybe Sale shoves, and they have a tough time scoring. But their bullpen's tough. Join the hip coil. We've done Milwaukee before. Ashby or Uribe throw good. They got other guys throwing the good in the bullpen. These three starters are good. Hey, look, Milwaukee has the best record in baseball. And a lot of people don't realize how good they really are, Ryan, but they're really good. In all seriousness, this is a good baseball team. They've got a lot of parts. They do a lot of things well. They run well. They hit well. They can hit some home runs here and there. They're not a big home run hitting team, but Little Will can run into one. Christian can run into one. Here's the question. We get into that. Are the Brewers the best team in baseball?
Can I just? I don't think there is a best team in baseball. Can I just say that? Theoretically, there's going to be somebody above everybody. I get it, but I think the cream of the crop is all the same. I mean, you discussed this off air, right? The Brewers can have a stretch where they look like absolute shit because they can't hit. And they may pitch their ass off, but they might go 2-8 because they literally can't hit. Dodgers just went through a tough stretch again. We're going through our second tough stretch. Phillies have gone through two really bad stretches, and they've gone through two really good stretches. I think even the Rays, I think if you put the Rays in the National League, I think they're right around where the Phillies and Padres are. They don't have great starting pitching. They play good defense. They run well. They have a really good bullpen. I don't think there's one dominant team in the National League unless the Dodgers get fully healthy and they start firing on all cylinders, and that's the clear cream of the crop right there. But right now, I think everybody is just kind of like it's flip of the coin. There's not one that's a whole lot better than the other. We might be better in certain areas than the other team, but they're going to be better in certain areas than we are. So they're a really, really good team. I don't know if there is a best team in baseball this year.
I kind of agree with Ryan. I don't know if I look at a team and say that team right there is better than everybody else because everybody I point to, I can find holes. So we'll do that really quick. The American League, the Rays, the fact of the matter, they just don't produce. They go through really streaky offense, and they don't have a number one just locked down. Now, look, they have a great bullpen. But even that great bullpen, the kid that closes for them, it took him a long time to get where he's at. So that's going to be a lot of pressure on him. I know he made an All-Star team. He's been great this year, but postseason can be a different animal. Yankees just cannot stay healthy. Cannot stay. They look like us from 24. They just cannot stay healthy. Freed's on the IL now. But with Schlittler and Cole, yes, they can get out of the American League and win. If Judge comes back and hits, and Bellinger comes back and hits, and all that, you know, uh, look, Ramos is a good hitter. Garcia is a good hitter. They can put Ben Rice is a good hitter, but they also kind of yucky. The Red Sox. There's a reason why they had to take them a 27-3 streak just to get into it because they were played that piss poor to start with. In the Central, that's all blah. And I love the White Sox story. It's been great, but that's just like rice pudding. They're all just blah. The National League, American League West, Astros, Hunter Brown back, it does make them formidable, and they got maybe the best player in the American League in Yordan Alvarez. But they're beatable. Rangers are beatable. We took 2 out of 3 from them. You go to the National League West, Dodgers are good, but Kyle Tucker can't catch fly balls. Kyle Tucker's in his head. Max Muncy's swinging from the hills again. They're a mess, and they're just a couple injuries away. I'm telling you what, if Ohtani or Freeman were to go down, the Dodgers would be in trouble. And then you look at the Padres. I don't know if the Padres can hit enough. I really don't. And their starters, other than King or whatever, you go to the Central, the Brewers. Brewers are a pretty good baseball team. The Cubs, they've lost 10 games twice in a row. That means they're beatable. The Phillies, me and Ryan debate the Phillies all the time. He can kind of sell me, and then all of a sudden they get in these streaks, and I kind of sell him. Maybe the Phillies are better than we realize. Phillies are rice pudding. We're rice pudding. If Suarez comes back, I think more than ever, Ryan, I've ever seen, starting October 1st, whatever team is the healthiest and the hottest will win this whole thing. And does that mean Alicia always wants to bring some positive? Yes, we get in the postseason. If we get hot, we can still win this thing. What are our odds? How many teams we just named? 12? That's 8%. We had an 8% chance of winning this thing, Alicia, because I can see a 92% us getting bounced in the first round. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the postseason?
It's going to be a battle of the shitters, as I like to call it. Now, look, they're all going to be decent teams, but they all got holes and flaws. It's going to be whichever one doesn't shit the bed the most is going to be the one that stands on top at the end of the day. So, I told Ken it's going to be the worst exciting postseason. What I mean by that is you might have the worst crop of teams to ever assemble a postseason bracket in Major League Baseball. But it's going to be so exciting to see how much of a dumpster fire is rolling through here. You don't know if you're going to have a ton of errors. You don't know if you're going to have a freaking slugfest, or you might have pitchers just go out there and absolutely shove it up people's rear ends. Normally in these postseason games, you can have an idea, right? Game 1, game 2, you're probably going to have really tough, pitching matchups. Game 3 is going to be a little bit more offense, but you don't know. We have no idea what the postseason is going to hold. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully we'll be in the dance. Hopefully we don't shit down our legs for the next 6 weeks, because if we do, that's going to be real bad, and somebody's going to get fired. And yeah, that's that. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we get in. Hopefully these guys get their heads out of their asses and start playing a little bit better baseball, because it would certainly do my blood pressure a whole lot better.
Mine too, and the rest of Brace Country. What Ryan means is this could be the first postseason that we don't have a 100-win team, and also have a losing team make the postseason. So we're not downing these teams. We're just saying there's not a complete team this year like it was last year. Everybody pretty much thought the Dodgers, Blue Jays, and Mariners were complete teams playing well all year long, and they put on a great postseason. This year, the postseason will be great because everybody's kind of together, and I'm sure somebody's going to step up, and we will have great games. We're all going to watch it. We're baseball fans. But sitting here on August the 19th, there's nobody can tell me any team is a guarantee. One of my best buddies is a huge Dodger fan. He walked up to me and said, I don't think we're going to three-peat. And I told him, I said, have you not looked at the rest of baseball? Why wouldn't you? He said, because we suck. They don't suck, but everybody thinks the same thing about their team right now. So, with that said, rough week. You're going 0-4. I'll go 1-3. I hope we're totally wrong. I hope they find some sort of magic on their Delta flight to Chicago and they win. Remember, really quick here, and we're going to finish on this thought. I think it's a 2:05 game tomorrow. It's weird times. A 4:05 game Friday afternoon. Another afternoon game on Saturday, and the reason why is they're going to Cooperstown. So, with all that said, and it's on a good note. I think it is pretty exciting for both teams to go to Cooperstown. It's exciting for the kids to see that. Do you ever think about playing in Cooperstown when you were coming up? And what do you think about both teams going to Cooperstown and playing Sunday night on ESPN?
Uh, when I was little, man, I knew what Cooperstown was. I didn't even know they had like a. I didn't know how big it was up there. To be honest with you, I knew the Hall of Fame was there. I didn't know how big like baseball was as a whole there. So I didn't have much aspirations there when I was little. But it's I
I
went to
mean, I mean Williamsport. Williamsport. They're going to Williamsport.
Williamsport.
Little League World Series.
Oh,
Little League World Series.
absolutely, yeah. Everybody had
Yeah,
aspirations when they were nine,
yeah,
10 years old, going to the Little
yeah.
League World Series and playing. That's one of the best events they have every single year, and it's only grown and gotten better. It's been a really good way, I think, to market to the youth to get out there and play baseball. But it's going to be interesting. I hate it for the travel for the guys because it's just another travel day, which sucks. But hopefully it energizes them getting out there for Williamsport. Hopefully seeing all the kids, maybe it energizes them a little bit and gives them a little juice. But it's a cool event. I'm glad Major League Baseball does it because it's cool to combine Little League World Series with Major League Baseball and kind of showcase baseball. But it's just not a good time for the Braves to be traveling extra right now.
I'll say this here: if you're down on the Braves, watch some of the Little League World Series. New Jersey walked it off tonight on a home run. That's exciting, and then watch the kids. What that will do for you, it will show you what we really watch the game for. I mean, it gets real frustrating when our teams go through this, but when you watch those kids play and the excitement they play with, we forget how much we love the game of baseball. And everybody loves the game of baseball. That's the one thing we can all be passionate about it, and we can kind of banter back and forth. Like I said, me and Dawson, and he's a big Georgia Tech guy, so we talk all the time. And Brian and Kathy and all of us, we jump on there. We love the game of baseball. So if you get a little down about the Braves, turn on the Little League World Series and remember why we love the game. Because right now, it ain't so much fun and love this team. You got any final thoughts when we get on out of here?
Oh, I honestly hope that the Braves kind of go to Williamsport and rediscover that a little bit of love for the game and just go out there and play like kids. Stop thinking so much. Stop trying to put so much pressure on yourself and just go out there and have fun. That's what baseball's for. And I think the Braves do a real bad job of when they start getting a funk, they quit having fun. It becomes too much like work. Go out there and just have fun. Quit worrying about your swing. Go and have a simple approach. Just think right center field. That should be your approach. Don't think about what pitch I want to hit. Don't think about oh my gosh, I really want to get this fastball here so I can do this. Just simple approach. Right center field, see ball, hit ball. I guarantee you that was probably one of my keys when I was coming up. That how to get out of a slump. Simplify everything, and things tend to work out a whole lot easier.
I agree. We tell our high school teams the same thing. Get in a slump, go back to your basics. Just see the ball, hit the ball, and drive the ball back through the middle. Try to hit the pitcher with it. Try to hit the ball over second baseman's head. Try to hit the ball over the shortstop's head, depending on what position you're hitting from the plate. Um, my final thought is this: baseball's funny. Baseball's funny. I was talking to a guy who's no longer on Twitter. Won't mention his name. I don't know if anybody's recognized, but he's no longer on Twitter. But we talked about this. Remember back when the Braves were 7-0 in the month of August, and the Braves are now 4-8 in their last 12 games in August. They have a winning record in August, and as funny as things are, um, things get turned around. So about the time you about ready to give up on them, they go on a hot streak, and you can say that about all 12 of those playoff teams. They go on a hot streak. So we're not giving up on them. Me and Ron will tune in tomorrow. Ron may have to turn them off again tomorrow, but we'll see with Anthony K. But turn them in, root for your team, and hopefully get turned around. Big bad Dodgers are coming next week at home. Let's just face it, this is a brutal stretch, and if they can somehow get through this stretch in first place, you know, then maybe we can turn it around. Remember, we got the Phillies around Labor Day weekend too. I mean, and Philadelphia. This is Ryan. This is put up or shut up time, and I think it is about time for Walt to start. I'm not even talking about tossing tables or anything like it. Just sit the guys down and say, look, this is where we're at, guys. Okay, and I like Ryan, what Ryan said, and we'll finish out on this. Got to go back to having some fun. Got to go back to having some fun. Enjoy the game, you know. And maybe the show and go. That's what they'll be on tomorrow in Chicago. Maybe the show and go with the White Sox will get them going again. Maybe this will be the game. They don't think about it. They don't look at an iPad. They're just going to show up, get in the cage, a few swings, get on the field. We'll see. So we're going to get out here. The hip coil will come out only on the Brewer series. We're not going to do one on Anthony K. He's a tough left-hander. It'll be out Friday. Make sure you tune into that. Ryan's going to tell you how you can beat Jacob Mizorowski. Maybe not with this lineup, but hitters should beat Jacob Mizorowski. So we appreciate you. And we love you, Braves Country, and we're out of here. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.